Left 4 Dead 2, 10 years ago, and after 10 years, there's now been an update. There was an update, I think, 2012, but this is a really weird and interesting and really cool, I think, thing that Valve's doing, where they're working with the community and sort of allowing for official, ports and official updates to their games. So this is what they're calling at least the final massive update to Left 4 Dead 2, and it's called The Last Stand. And awesome as well, it's actually going to be a free download. So new weapons, maps, new enemy types. They've used some of the old dialogue and brought it into the game, and there's a new campaign. And right now, and I think it's probably going to be too late by the time we publish, but Left 4 Dead 2 is actually free on Steam at the moment as well, so you can actually try it out. But yeah, this is really cool. Like, what did you think of this when you heard this news?
Oh, it's awesome. Any game that has a very passionate fan base, passionate, probably small, I imagine at the moment. It's great that they're able to work through official channels to get something like this through. Valve has a history of whether or not it's Counter-Strike's days as a mod or Dota and all that kind of stuff. Like they're very in touch with the community around all of this stuff, and I think Black Mesa, I guess the remake, was a huge thing that they kind of officially endorsed as well.
Yeah, so it's so funny because I had it up on my screen, and that's what I wanted to talk about. Like, I would say out of any company in the entire world in the space of video games, that if I said what's the closest to Nintendo in terms of how they operate, I'd say Valve. Now, if you actually look through what they do, at times it's the complete opposite. Like Nintendo, like think about this, Black Mesa, it was like, I think they worked on it for like 10 or 15 years. And then, once Valve fully caught wind of it, they actually worked with them, and it's on the Steam store, and it's actually incorporated in sometimes the Valve collections. And it's a fan-made reimagining of Half-Life. And yeah, you have to buy it on the store. It's like about $30 Australian on Steam. Like, that is like the complete opposite of what Nintendo would do. They'd do a cease and desist and shut down the project. It's just interesting. But I do think that those two companies are quite similar in the same way of like, they just do things that are a bit out of the box and keep you guessing. So it's pretty cool, hey?
Yeah, I really enjoyed playing the first Left 4 Dead. Played it a bunch. That game got terrifying at times on the harder difficulties. And the reason I never got into Left 4 Dead 2 was, first of all, it came so quickly after the first one. So I felt like I hadn't even played enough of the first one before they announced the second one. And then you had the whole business with them doing the ridiculous censoring for the Australian the game. That's one of the reason why I never played it. And I know that there's probably versions out there that I can play now that don't have that there, whether or not it's Steam or otherwise. But it was, so that's the reason I never got into it. But I'd heard by all accounts that Left 4 Dead 2 was a much better game than the first one. So I think it's really great that this updated.
Yeah, and like the only reason why I really haven't played Left 4 Dead is because I feel like you need to have mates to play it, who are keen to play it, right? No, I'm just saying, like, rather than randos or or just like bots or whatever, like it's just so much, like, that's part of the whole point of the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, I don't know, maybe I'll try to wrangle some people up tonight to see if you can play it, because it is free at the moment, and that includes the new update as well. So. But no, it's really cool. I love how Valve does this kind of stuff. Like, it's so cool. Like, and the one thing about Valve is I just wish that they got back into the swing of making games again, because it feels like, we're missing that massive AAA publisher developer out there that they generally could, like, I'm super keen to play Half-Life Alyx. It's just, the setup is just so extreme in Australia, like, I wish that I could rent the Valve Index or something like that. It's kind of maybe a bit nasty to rent VR equipment, but I don't know. I really want to play it, but how are you going to play it, dude? Like, in Australia, to get a Valve Index, it's like $2,000, something like that. Like, that's just insane. Like, that's never going to happen. But yeah, it's just this experience that I really want to play, and I just, haven't had a chance. So Yeah, no, this is really cool.
Did you, sorry, on Half-Life Alex, did you ever see the video of the guy that climbed to the top of the Citadel in the VR?
No.
Oh, it was so good. He spent ages like doing the teleport thing, and he climbed all the way up into the clouds and the Citadel in the background. It was awesome.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, look, it seems like a really cool game, and like people genuinely like loved it. Yeah, it's interesting. I wonder if they ever do try to translate it into just a regular style game. I know that like it's so core to the experience, the VR part of it. So probably never, but yeah, it just seems a shame. Like maybe if it comes to PSVR 2, like with PlayStation 5, like that would be awesome. That's probably the way that I'd play it if they do that when PSVR 2 gets announced and kind of comes along, which seems inevitable now.
Surely when Sony buy Valve, that'll happen.
Well, it could be Valve buying Sony maybe, and then turning into the PlayStation Steam box, because I think Valve might even be a bigger company than Sony. And then in other niche news,